Hello everyone, welcome to my 122nd live stream. My name is Brian Akeem, and today we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 20. Um, what's, yeah, wow, I actually forgot the name of the episode. What's Been Lost? There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so what did I think about this episode? So, I'm just going to tell you guys now. I did not like this episode.
See?
Yeah, that's a shocker, maybe, because this is like one of the last episodes of The Walking Dead, and I just didn't like it. So I'm gonna read your guys' chats. Epic Zombie Killer, you say that Lance dying doesn't bother me because I wasn't a big fan of the character. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I kind of was a fan, like, of the character, kind of like as a villain, but it's just how he died I didn't like. And, oh wait, 1 second, let me change that. I'm going to change that. So, I just want to explain real quick to you guys, anyone listening in the stream, why I didn't like the episode. Basically, I watched a bunch of videos on this, other people reviewing the episode. Oh yeah, I know, Epic, thank you. Hey Brian, I'm in your server, waiting. Hey Joshua, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the chat, and I will read them out. I will be discussing the episode, I will talk to anyone on Discord, and giving my thoughts on the episode. So yeah, please ask away. 1 second. Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you guys why I didn't like this episode. So one of the reasons is the episode had too few characters. It was mostly a Carol episode, and that's fine. Let's see, Joshua, why are you always putting Monday dates instead of Sunday dates? You know, The Walking Dead comes on Sundays, right? Yeah, I know, Joshua. It's just, you see, I go to church on Sundays, and I didn't go last night, but, I had stuff to do, and it just wasn't. Also, I hang out with my family on Sunday night, so also I have to like get ready for work and all that. So it's just not a good time for me. So that's why I do them Monday nights. It's just a day later, you know what I mean? It's not. I feel like that's pretty good. So yeah, okay. So this episode was a Carol focused episode, and that's fine. I actually enjoyed Carol's character this episode, but the only other character this episode really from our group was Daryl, and it's just, I don't know. Daryl was a god this episode. He was a superhuman, and I didn't like that really. Epic says, hey Brian, one thing I didn't like about episode 19 was during the night we see a lot of walkers, then it cuts to day and all walkers are dead. Yeah, I think that's because like budget and stuff, but like maybe also they didn't want to waste our time killing, showing them kill those zombies, but I don't know. I mean, they showed some action, but it's like, yeah. I think that was a budget issue. I don't know. Joshua says, okay, Brian, I'm not mad. Yeah, I know you're not mad. It's just, yeah, that's kind of how I do it. It's one day later because, I need to get my thoughts in order with the episode. I need to see other people's feedback. So, yeah. By the way, guys, like Overrays, if you guys are listening to this, like please tell me why you liked the episode. Cause, like I said, I didn't like it because one, Lance's death is just, I'm okay with Lance dying. I just think the way they did it was not right. Because he has this connection to the CRM. And I'm thinking of, wait a minute, like, we didn't get to find out what he did to Oceanside. Like, I just feel like, we should have found out Oceanside first, and then you kill him off. And then, I didn't like the characters teleport in this episode. I don't like how the characters just leave the Commonwealth off screen, and we never see how they got past the walls. I don't like how the characters got kidnapped off screen. Like even Negan was captured off screen by Pamela's goons. And I'm like, okay, come on, really? Like, even Dog, they kidnapped a dog. What is wrong with the Commonwealth? What is wrong with them? I mean, it's kind of frustrating. It's very frustrating. Joshua says, I like it because of Yumiko's plot. Yeah, I actually kind of like Yumiko's plot. This was a good Yumiko episode. Joshua, I agree. I just think that we could have used more characters. We could have had Mercer talking to Yumiko a little bit. Like, where was Mercer this episode? You know what I mean? Like, I know we got him in episode 17, 18, 19, but, like, he should be in 20 because this is the Commonwealth. Like, he's literally the general of the Commonwealth, so why he should be in every episode that we see the Commonwealth? It just makes the most sense, because he's one of the main guys there. So Epic says, "Are you serious? So Dog did get kidnapped?" Yeah, Epic. Dog was kidnapped not by the CRM but by the Commonwealth. I don't even know how it's possible, but it just did, and I just yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. All right, guys. So now I'm going to the this Discord now. Oh yeah. So I need to start with the episode. So okay. So let me just change this. Yeah. So you guys, I have AMC Plus, so I cannot play it because of copyright. Hey CW, he says hello, Brian. It's nice to see you. If you have any questions, ask away, please. So, okay, the stream is excellent. That is good. Thank you, God. Yeah, so as you can see, I have AMC Plus. Brian, characters can't be in every episode. That's too consuming for the actors and actresses. I kind of... oh, hi, Epic. 1 second. Yeah, Joshua, I kind of see what you're saying, but the thing is that this is what the show needs to do. If the characters live in the Commonwealth, they have to a good chunk of the characters have to be seen every episode because they're all living in that one community. It just kind of feels weird if, like, we don't see a lot of characters when they're supposed to be living in that community, Hey, Epic.
So, yeah, to me, episode 19 was just okay.
Yeah, I had some problems with 19, but I think it was better than, this episode 20. For episode 19, I did like the Mercer stuff. I did like I thought the Daryl versus Eugene, that was hilarious. Oh my goodness.
One thing about episode 19, to me, it proves that Princess in the show is definitely way better than she was in the comics.
Yeah, absolutely. CW says, excited, here's to season 4 of Extinction. Well, thank you, CW. I really appreciate that. Extinction means a lot to me. I worked very hard on it. It's my passion project in the Walking Dead universe. And yeah, season 4 is coming out next week. It's going to start and then end around the middle of December this year. So yeah, guys, the first 8 episodes are going to be out before the year is over. I worked very hard. Like I said, I worked very hard on it. And I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you all can check it out and give me your thoughts on it. What I can improve on and what you like. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Epic. About Princess. Yes, I agree. I like that they did this with Princess. Because in the comics, it's just like, she's like, oh, yeah, I got abused by my father and brother. And it's like, it didn't fit. But in the show, it kind of fits how she said it because she was being more serious. I'll admit, I was very hesitant about TV Princess. I'm like, they should have made her more realistic and this and that. I don't like how she looks, but the actress is fantastic. And the way they kind of got rid of her goggles and, oh my goodness, remember they also got rid of her stupid spear. I'm glad they did that too. That is what I like. I like that they made Princess more realistic. She was goofy in the beginning, but then they toned her down a bit and made her a little more realistic and interesting. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. I still don't like the Splinter. I still hate that episode. It's still terrible, but I like what we've gotten so far from Princess in season 11. I think she has been pretty good. Definitely better than the comic.
And just, like from what I said earlier, just to me, like just, what I said earlier, to me, that was just very lazy to me, how, like, like they're on the roof, like they show like a dozen walkers, like below them surrounding the house, and then they cut the day and they're all dead. I don't know. To me, that's just lazy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's. Take your time, Josh. It's a long story. CW says, what do you think Rick will look like in the show coming out next year? Great question, CW. I think Rick is. Here's the thing. Rick, I think he's gonna have like a. I think Rick is gonna be like super shaved and short hair. Because one thing we have to remember is that the CRM, they have a strict code with haircuts and stuff like that. It's a very military lifestyle. So Rick is going to be he's not going to have a beard, I would say. I think he's going to be clean shaven and very short hair, because that's kind of how the CRM are, you know what I mean? So so Rick's going to be very hairless, I guess, like, you know what I mean? Like, because, that's how it is in the CRM.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Epic. And then after you, I gotta go through the episode.
Like, one moment I did like in episode 19, I liked the moment with Aaron and Lydia when they were in that whatever that thing was, and Aaron started talking about Eric and how they met, and I don't know, that was a very well done scene,
I did like how it was going. I think it was though kind of weird when Aaron's like, we were married. I kind of feel like that was a retcon or something, because I'm like, wait a minute, I thought, they were always boyfriends, so like that part kind of confused me. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, yeah, that I just kind of feel like, I don't know, was that right or wrong? I'm like, I don't know. I thought I just feel like it kind of came out of nowhere, but it's not a big deal. Because like I feel like we knew everything about Aaron before, and then now we found out that I'm like, well, that's new. I'm like, I could have sworn, but yeah. Anyways, okay, yeah. So episode 20. So this is some of the problems I had with episode 20. So Ezekiel is in the bakery. Oh my goodness, I love how Carol's boss is not around. Like Carol is just taking cookies and stuff or whatever. Like, seriously, is she in charge of the bakery? I don't know. But I like the part where she's like, I recognize your footsteps, and Ezekiel's like, you know me too well. Like, that part is good. I liked it. The character interactions this episode were amazing. You know what I mean? Like, the actors are fantastic, the chemistry, all this stuff is good. But then, I hate it. I hate when Carol turns around, like, Ezekiel doesn't say anything, she turns around, and Ezekiel's just gone. And I'm like, I wrote this in people's comment sections. I'm like, did Ezekiel just get raptured? Like, like in the Bible, like, did he just disappear out of thin air? Because that's what happened. Like, it doesn't make sense that Ezekiel got taken by those goons from that way. It just doesn't make sense. Because when Carol turns around, she sees the goons coming from the other door. So it's like, then who took Ezekiel? Where'd the guys who took Ezekiel go to? Like, it doesn't make sense. How come Ezekiel didn't make a loud bang sound? Nothing like that. He was 5 feet from Carol. There's no way. Like,
are those the same goons that like did a similar, like the end of episode 19, Rosita gets attacked in her apartment, and I'm wondering if those are the same goons or not.
I think they might have been the same goons that attacked Rosita, but yeah. So exactly, CW. Joshua says, after you finish talking about all season 11 episodes and main show in this live streams, what will you do after this? Will the live streams continue or no? Yeah, great question, Joshua. The live streams will still continue, but here's the thing. After the final episode of the main show, I still have to get out the 4 episodes. Okay, so like for a whole month, I'm not going to do any live streams because I'm going to be giving you guys the last 4 episodes of the first half of season 4 of my Extinction series. But then the live streams, they will come back. We'll do random episodes here and there, and we'll try to fix certain live streams that crashed. We'll do like redos of certain episodes.
Are you still going to do that live stream where we just look at the Walking Dead show as a whole?
Yes, I am still going to do a review on the whole, I guess, like, series or season, that kind of thing. I am still going to do that. Yeah. Hey, Chosen.
Did the live stream crash?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
No, it doesn't look like it. It still says excellent connection.
I was just asking. I don't know. I thought the conversation you guys were just having kind of sounded like it was crashed. But okay.
Oh, no, I think maybe it's Discord. Joshua says, what do you mean redos? Like, I'll go back in an episode that I watched and did a live stream before, but like maybe the stream crashed, like, and it was just unsalvageable, and you know what I mean? Like redos on the worst streams I've ever had, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so Chosen. I was just talking with Epic about how I love the scene with Carol and Ezekiel. The character interaction, like how she knew his footsteps. I'm like, that's good. That's good. I like that. The character moments, the act, chemistry, it's great. But Ezekiel getting kidnapped right behind Carol, 5 feet from her, barely making a sound, and then the goons come from the other door. I'm like, what happened? Like, he got raptured or something. That's so confusing. Like, it looked like he got raptured, you know? He just disappeared like that. I'm like, no, I get what they were trying to go for, but it doesn't work like that if you want The Walking Dead to be realistic.
And
Yeah,
I wonder if episode 20 that we see the like I wonder if episode 20 we see like the aftermath of what happened to Rosita at the end of 19.
We don't see Rosita in 20. She's in 21 though. Yeah. Sorry, Chosen. Were you saying something?
yeah, no, I agree with the Ezekiel thing. I don't see it as like a big problem, just because it's at the very beginning of the story, so like I kind of forgot about it. I'm not gonna lie, but I did realize, or I did think about that when I saw it. What I can't forget though is how after Daryl and Carol go to not necessarily save, but you know, they're with Lance now, and they're like running away from the cell that he was in. There's a bunch of Commonwealth soldiers that just spawn there, and then they start shooting down the hallway, and they all decide to miss while it's just a hallway, and they couldn't hit Daryl or Carol or anybody.
Yeah, that's fun fact. I didn't really notice that when I saw the episode, but yeah. Oh yeah, so I remember like Knockbro Nations, I think they said something like this. I feel like it would have been cool to have like this recap and show every character being kidnapped. Like just like 2 seconds, it's Negan. 2 seconds later, we see Magna getting taken. 5 seconds, we see Kelly running and get taken, trying to run away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would have added some suspense. But we know why they did it. You know, budget, right? Like, they couldn't get the actors and actresses, just for like that little of a scene. But I don't get why they can't do that scene like right after filming another episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that might be cool to see, but it might also be kind of annoying if they do it. Like, I could see it also being annoying at the same time if it just takes too long for them to like get to the story, like get to the point of the episode. But it would be suspenseful seeing that. Like, who's next?
Yeah. And us being like, oh my gosh, Carol, get away, like, because they just took everyone else, like, instead of just like them vaguely saying, like, even Daryl's like, they took Dog, and oh my goodness, you know, they had that line just because they couldn't get Dog to come back, and they wanted to remind people that Dog exists. Like,
Hey
you know,
Brian.
yeah, hold on, Epic. I'm talking to Chosen. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like that line with Daryl's like, they took Dog. It just feels like they did that just because to remind us, oh yeah, we haven't forgotten, Dog exists.
Yeah, that line probably wasn't even in the script.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, what's going on with Dog, the actor? It's like, can they not film anything with Dog? Like, seriously, like, what is going on with that? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I'm not saying this it makes the episode horrible. I'm just saying that all these little things that add up, it kind of hurts my enjoyment. Because I feel like they could have done more. You know what I mean? With this episode. Oh
Hey
hey,
Brian.
yeah, go ahead, Epic.
Speaking of Connie and where have those characters been?
Yeah, so we see Connie in this episode. We do not see Kelly. Kelly got captured. And that's one of the problems. There's so many characters. Like, and here's another thing. Where was Mercer in this episode? I know we got him in 17, 18. Um, we got him in 17, 18, 19. But, like, it's just weird that we don't see him at all in this episode when people are being flat out abducted. Like, like dozens of people, mind you, and, like, Mercer doesn't know. Um, you know what I mean? And he's not even at the press conference in the episode, so I'm like, okay, this is weird. Mercer normally comes to every event in the Commonwealth, but not this one. Like, you know what I mean? It's a little confusing.
Yeah, they put subbed in him for just some random person, Commonwealth soldier with like a walkie-talkie that Yumiko notices.
Oh yeah, it's Colonel. We saw her in episode 10, like 10 episodes. No, not 10 episodes ago. Like 8 episodes ago. With it's like Daryl's. No, it's like Daryl's other boss at the police station. Him and Rosita's. This black woman. She's like kind of a chief under Mercer kind of thing, but it was just kind of weird. Like Mercer, is he sick or something? And then she had to step, in his place. It's like it's a little, like I feel like there could have been a line where it's like, yeah, Mercer's still dealing with that swarm.
Well, the only in-world explanation, because obviously maybe the actor just wasn't able to be there for some reason, but the only in-world explanation I can think of is maybe he's too sad about what Princess told him last episode. I don't think that would be a good reason for him to not go, but, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we get Daryl fighting Pamela's goons. And Carol's safe. I wonder how she knew he was going to be here, but it was still cool that Daryl, when he killed that guy. And so anyways, Carol and Daryl are going, and oh my goodness, Pamela's talking to I guess these are the rich people of the Commonwealth. I found that so one of them, the woman talking to Pamela, is Kayla's mother. And I always wonder this. I'm like, what happened to Sebastian's girlfriend? You know what I mean? Like, remember that? Like, we don't see Sebastian's girlfriend, like, pretty much ever since her first episode. And I'm like, I guess she didn't care her boyfriend died. Like, but at least they kind of brought the mother to kind of, like, sort of establish that, like, hey, she's still alive. And anyway, so yeah. So this part annoys me. So Pamela's like, oh, they're enemies of the state. They're being removed from the Commonwealth. This is bogus. Are you seriously telling me none of these people are being like Pamela? Some of them have kids. Some of them have babies. One of them has a dog. Is that dog an enemy of the state? Like, come on. This makes no sense whatsoever. Like, you cannot you cannot just remove an entire large group that has women, children, and a dog, and babies. There's no way. Like, and you just play it off as enemies. It's that part was a little bit of a head scratcher for me.
Like to me, like I'm guessing AMC are trying to tell us that hey, like Pamela Milton, she's becoming this evil dictator, and episode 19 kind of proved that because I mean, near the end of that episode. Like she was like, feed my son, like to Lance when Sebastian, that episode definitely proved that they're making her evil.
And I have a question, guys. Who's taking care of the babies? If Rosita and them are being captured, what are they doing with the babies from the group? You know what I mean?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, but I did. Like, and this is me watching the episode. I'm like, wait, what's happening to the babies? Like, I think like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just how my mind works. I have a very critical mind where, I'm always thinking like 10 steps ahead, like kind of thing. Like, and that wasn't a joke with the whole Carol thing with Lance earlier, but like, I always think of like, okay, well, what happened to this character and this character? Even like the minor, unimportant characters. I'm just thinking like, what happened to them? And, I did like how, this was a good Yumiko episode. I like how she just stormed in and punched that guard. I liked it because some people were like, oh, Yumiko doesn't care about her people. Like, she's living good. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad they did this to establish, like, no, like, Yumiko was being a lawyer, all this stuff. Yeah, in the Commonwealth. putting up with the facade a little bit. But now this is the breaking point, and I'm glad they established she has a breaking point, and this is it. So,
Hey, Brian.
wait, hold on, Epic. Yeah, go ahead, Chosen.
No, Epic can talk first.
Okay, Epic.
I was just wondering if you got my question a few minutes ago about if they're making Pamela evil and if episode 19 proved it,
Yeah, she's definitely following in the governor's footsteps. Pun intended, I guess. Let's see. Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that? Them making Pamela like the big bad evil.
I mean, it's understandable because she got so much time in the comic when she was introduced. In the show, they kind of forgot about her, so it kind of makes sense the last couple of episodes to flesh her out more. But here's one thing: why does Pamela make Yumiko? Why is she telling her to prosecute Eugene when Pamela should have other lawyers who can do it? Yes, she could make Yumiko do it because she has her friends, she has her brother, she could threaten him. But even if Yumiko doesn't do it, Pamela still has other lawyers as a backup, right?
Well, she's trying. She's obviously trying to. Just like say like make Yumiko choose like who she's loyal to, but I don't really understand why she's doing that because obviously Yumiko is first of all choosing her people over Pamela. But she's acting like she needs Yumiko. Like, she doesn't need her at all. Like, in the community. She could just kick Yumiko out and nothing bad would happen. So I don't know why she's doing this. Like, you're right.
I mean, it's not a terrible plot. It's like, okay, Pamela's doing this, but she's got a backup and this and that. That I can accept. You know what I mean? It's not like Yumiko, it's not like she's the only lawyer. You know? If she was, though, like, then I'll be like, okay, AMC, you screwed up there. You're telling me this whole community has one lawyer now? When Yumiko joined? Like, no. Yeah, so we see Tommy. Yeah. She's talking with him. I like the scene. It's been a while since we had this brother-sister thing. They kind of haven't done much with it. I mean, like, her and Tommy were talking while, after they, found out each other were alive, and then that was kind of it. So I'm kind of glad we get something else. I did like seeing the hospital. It kind of helped with the Commonwealth scale, and I did like how the interaction between Connie and Yumiko where they're doing the hand signals. I'm so glad they had the subtitles because I would not understand what they were saying. Like, I cannot read sign language. I can't. No way. So
wait. So one thing didn't make, unless I'm tripping, one thing didn't make sense about that thing. So first of all, Yumiko walks down the hallway, right? And then Connie coincidentally pokes her head out and, Yumiko walks in. But the thing that they look like, I don't know what it's called. Is it called like a grate thing or like whatever
it's a vent.
is on the wall? And they looked out of a vent. Yeah. So they looked out the vent, right? And they were looking at that dude who got stabbed by Connie, right? So where does that vent lead to? Because doesn't that lead to the hallway that Yumiko was in? Because that's just on the other side. So how are they looking inside the room?
I mean, yeah, that's a bit of a head scratcher. I'm gonna try and look at that scene again. Well, they're in a storage. I mean, they're in a storage, not in a room.
But on the other side is the hallway, though.
Let me check it out. Hopefully, if AMC, come on, stupid. AMC Plus does not work well on Firefox.
And just going back to the Pamela stuff, I thought when she was talking about Tommy and she kind of like threatened Tommy, I thought she was gonna bring up how Tommy, because when he was first introduced to the show, he was like a baker or something like that, and it was like because he didn't want to be a doctor for some reason, and it's like a crime to like not say like what if you're a doctor or something, and then he got arrested that one episode at the very end as like a cliffhanger, and then nothing ever came of that. So then I was thinking like, oh, like she was gonna bring that up, but no, she didn't, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's another thing. We never found out what Lance wanted from Yumiko when he's like, someday I may call on you for a favor. We never really got that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, we
That's a
didn't.
yeah, that's a bit of a head scratcher. Maybe he just had that in his pocket and never got to use it. I mean that's possible.
After in 11C, they kind of just wrote Lance as to be like some idiot. I don't really know why. I'm not a fan of how they're running 11C.
I mean, it's not bad. I definitely think that there's like gaps. I feel like there's gaps they do in the story that it's like, okay, wait, how did this character get here? You know what I mean? Like, and I'll get to it. You know, Yumiko's talking with Eugene, but here's when Daryl and them. Wait, did I skip that scene? When Daryl and Carol and Lance get outside the Commonwealth, how did they get outside? Like, they don't. We never see the Commonwealth's walls. Like, you know what I mean? Why can't we see a scene where Daryl and Carol are at the walls and then they go through them somehow and then like because
Well,
because they're in the woods all of a sudden, like next scene. And I'm like, wait, there was no guard at the gate?
yeah. Daryl 100% teleported. You cannot tell me he did not teleport, and like he didn't have like a tracker on Carol or something like that. There's no way he would have found Carol in the middle of the night. Like I know he is a tracker, and he maybe followed the Commonwealth soldiers, but like the Commonwealth soldiers would have been following him after he killed those ones who in the hallway who just spawned there somehow. And yeah, they would have been following him, and like you said, like there would have been guards and everything. Like he teleported. There's no way he did not teleport.
Here's the thing though, Daryl did not track Carol because he was riding on the back of not the back. He was riding on the underside of the Jeep that those soldiers when they caught Carol and Lance, he was riding with them the whole time, so he was not tracking Carol. I guess it was just coincidence. Um,
He was wait. He was under. How do you know he was? Did he say that he was on the thing,
it,
or
it
are you just
shows.
assuming that?
Let
Sure.
me see.
Hey, Joseph. How you doing?
Good.
That's good.
Because if it says, because if wait, did it? I don't know if you answered or not, because maybe you cut out or something. But did Daryl or someone say that he was riding on the vehicle?
They heavily show. They kind of showed it, and every person who watched the episode was like, "Oh, that's what they did." Um, it shows Daryl.
I definitely missed that.
Yeah. So that's a bit of a head scratcher for me. Um, like the thing is, I'm enjoying what they're doing with the story. I just am confused why they have the characters teleporting. Because like Carol and Lance are inside the prison, and then boom, they're outside in the woods, and um, anyway, yeah. So like I'm just so confused. Like I just feel like you have the characters. Here's the thing though, when Lance had that leg frequency thing, I guess it's like it's like the thing they use for the police use, right? So you don't leave the zone. What's that called? One of those track. Hey, Walker Dead.
Hey.
Okay,
So
so
Walker Dead. Yeah. So I've been wanting to chat about episode 19 with you all day today. You know. You chat about it now. I don't know why. I mean, again, it's not that we're nitpicking. It's just we're giving our honest thoughts and opinions on the episode. Us giving our honest thoughts and opinions on the episode doesn't mean we're nitpicking. I'm like, sure, we have pointed out in the past, we have pointed out some of the negatives and the positives. That doesn't mean we're nitpicking. You know, like one thing again, I still not again. Sorry, not to interrupt you, Epic. But again, I will admit, did I give the episode an 8 out of 10? Yeah, but that doesn't mean I was. That doesn't mean I'm Nick. That doesn't mean I'm gonna trash on the episode saying it was all bad. No, there is some good things in the episode. We're just pointing out the positives and negatives we had on this specific episode. That does not mean we're nitpicking. It's called having different. It's called having different opinions.
I
And
mean, I'd
again,
say
we are all entitled to have our different opinions.
it is nitpicking, but there's not really anything wrong with it. We're just having a civil conversation. But I'd say it is still nitpicking because it's not like that big of a deal, these certain things, but it is a little frustrating stuff.
How's it nitpicking when we're just giving our honest thoughts and opinions on the episode? Like, if we're giving our positives and our negatives in regards to this episode, how's that nitpicking? How?
Because like at least like certain things that Brian and I were just talking about like recently before he came on, like they're not like the biggest problems story wise, but they're they're just small little things, but I think they're still worth mentioning.
Yeah, but like I mentioned before, could they have done those things a little better? Yeah, but again, that doesn't mean the episode. Again, that doesn't mean the episode's bad, and that doesn't mean the episode's trash either. I'm like, sure, is there some minor things they could have addressed and fixed? Yeah, but it is what it is because I mean the episode's already out. So,
yeah, Walker dead.
What's up, Epic?
Like one thing I didn't like in episode 19 was like I said this to Brian earlier, but there's a scene at night, like where Aaron and Jerry, they're in this like place and they get attacked by burying walkers, and then like they're on this roof, and then like the freaking building is surrounded by walkers, and then cuts to day, and the walkers are all dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, could they have done a scene where I don't know? Maybe we see some Commonwealth soldiers like killing some of those walkers. I mean, again, that would have been a nice scene to see, even if it was just a few seconds. I do think that would have been an okay scene to see. But again, that's not what we got. I'm sorry, but that's unfortunately not what we got. I mean, I do admit it could have been cool to see. I don't know, maybe it could shine some light on the CRM. Well, not CRM, like, the Commonwealth, how they do things in regards to killing the walkers. I mean, that would have been fine. But, I mean, again, it is what it is.
No, it didn't make sense to me. Like I said, like, the building is surrounded by a dozen walkers, and then cuts to day and they're all dead, and then all of a sudden Jerry is down there buying, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, they could have done a scene where they have like some Commonwealth, like some Commonwealth soldiers killing some of those zombies. They could have had a scene like that. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
Guys, we have to get back on track with the episode.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, it's just I haven't seen episode 20, so yeah.
Okay. So with just the Lance thing, Lance and Daryl and Carol go to Lance, and there's Sebastian. Daryl puts him down. I did like how Daryl was the threatening one, and then Carol's like acting all nice. She's whispering to him. She's acting like, Lance, don't worry, we're not gonna hurt you. And then she pulls a knife out. It's just like, it's so funny. It's like, no, there's no good cop, bad cop. They're both bad cop. It's just, it's funny. It's like, would you rather have Daryl interrogating you or Carol? It's like, you really can't pick. You really can't pick which one.
I actually like that scene because, before what happens with Lance, but I like that scene because it was like actually, even though I don't really care that much, like for Lance as a person, but that was still like tension filled. Like, oh, like crap, like this kind of sucks for him. You know what I mean? But I did get so I was like, I didn't really like the scene because it was kind of written weirdly because at first, Daryl says like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to kill you, but if you run away, you might survive. But then, so he kind of gave me the impression that like, oh, Lance should just run now, and then Daryl will like pull his crossbow and just shoot him in the back or something. But then it seems like they were gonna let Lance like give him like a minute or two or something. So wait, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. But anyways, the whole tension filled stuff, I did like that, even though I didn't care for Lance at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about him as a person. Like, I don't trust him. But I think as a villain, he's awesome. Like, yeah. And I just think it's weird that he didn't have a backup plan. Because remember he said to Pamela, I'm still very much in this game. And he ate that apple, last in episode 18. Shira is still out there. he still knows about the CRM. Like, I don't understand why he didn't try to make it out on his own. Like, that part is just weird to me. Like, it's a head scratcher. It's like, and it's not a minor thing. Like, this is a big thing. Like, they established that Lance knows about CRM, so it's just, I don't see why you would kill off a character. This was like Beth's death. Why would you kill off a character that knows something very important? Why would you have them do something stupid and get themselves killed? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was saying. In 11C, they kind of wrote him to be an idiot. I don't really know why. Because in 11B, he seemed actually like kind of intelligent. Like, I liked him in 11B and 11C. He didn't do too much, so I can't really say I didn't like him, or I disliked him anyway. But yeah, he's kind of just there.
Joshua says, "Can you believe Lance killed Walker Sebastian?" No, he didn't. Joshua, it was Daryl, but Lance just desecrated his corpse, and left the coin there. And DeRosa asked, DeRosa asked, "Do you think they would actually let Lance survive?" That's the impression I got, DeRosa. Carol said you might make it. Like, to me, that sounded like Carol and Daryl being like, "Yeah, don't come back to the Commonwealth. We never want to see you again." That's the vibe I got before she killed him.
Dad?
Yeah.
It is a little sad to me knowing that there's only 4 episodes left of the main show and it's done forever. That is a little sad to me.
Yeah, but I understand that, Epic. I'm just pointing out the obvious that, hey, I'm like, okay, if we're going to see the CRM this season, like, if we're going to see it somewhere in the last 4 episodes, do it, please. I feel like they should address that thing. And I feel like they should, establish that in some capacity, because, again, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. There's 4 episodes left. Brian and Dead Walker, they have a point. There's 4 episodes left of the Walking TV show, and I feel like we need to get something with CRM. Because if we don't get anything with CRM, then I'm going to be a little disappointed, because I'm like, okay, we know the Rick Michonne show is coming in 2023, right? So they're going to have to do something with CRM. Otherwise, what else can they do? I don't know. I feel like they have to do CRM.
Pamela, what do you think of Pamela when she went to see Sebastian and like his head's all smashed and stuff? Which to me, like, that looked so cool. I'm not gonna lie. But Sebastian's head smashed in, and then there's the coin in there, and then she picks up the coin. That's so disgusting. Like, she knows it's a coin. Like, she knows it's Lance's coin, but like, I don't know why she had to pick it up. That's nasty.
Oh yeah, it's like, literally, her son's brains are all over it. I don't know, it's just a thing that they did, and to me, that didn't bug me. It's just one of those things where it's like she didn't care in that moment. But like, seriously, the actress, is amazing. I love how they're going Mad Queen with Pamela, like she's like Cersei from Game of Thrones, like that they're kind of going that route, which is, pretty cool. And yeah.
I like her, but I don't find her to be very villainous. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but she isn't. Even the Commonwealth in general, to me, they don't really seem like villains, other than, the Commonwealth soldiers are always attacking them. But like, since they're so useless, that doesn't really matter either. But yeah, to me, the Commonwealth doesn't really seem like a villain. Like, the only thing that they've really done bad is what Sebastian's done, right? And Sebastian's dead, so yeah, like of course there's like the manipulation and just unfair stuff that Pamela has, but like, that's not necessarily villainous stuff. That's just, normal bad stuff.
Yeah, well, there's Riverbend and Oceanside. Those are inexcusable, I guess.
But that's like that wasn't Pamela doing it though. You know what I mean? That was Lance and Sebastian, but they're dealt with. Pamela hasn't really seemed to me as like, she hasn't done anything like any genocide or anything like super villainous, other than maybe some corruptness every now and then.
Yeah. DeRosa asks, who's going to take charge of the Commonwealth after Pam? Who's going to take charge of the Commonwealth after Pamela is gone? I want to hear what you guys think. I'm going with Ezekiel. It makes the most sense because Ezekiel wants to stay in the Commonwealth. He survived his comic death. He got not cured, but he got treated for his cancer. And he did that whole hospital thing. The people of the Commonwealth are going to be like, hey, let's have Ezekiel. He did that black market medical, hospital for us. So I could see them doing that. I feel like that's what they're going to go with.
Yeah, I liked how Lance brought that up, and that's what I kind of another reason why I wish he didn't die, because he brought up some cool points, and Carol, I wish she kind of brought that up with Daryl, or just not. I mean, I know I don't think. Let me begin. I don't wish she brought that with Daryl, but he did bring up some interesting points, and that he made some good sense there. But I don't think. And anyways, what you said, Brian. I don't think Ezekiel's going to be the leader. I don't really know who is going to be the leader, but I don't think it's Ezekiel. I also do think Ezekiel has a good chance of dying, but that's not necessarily why I don't think he's going to be the leader.
Yeah. Also, I think someone asked me if I think this season's going to be death-free. Besides Commonwealth characters, you know what I mean? Like Pamela, Lance, Sebastian. I think that we are going to lose maybe one of our own. I think Eugene, we saw that the Commonwealth has a train, and in the comic books, Eugene is the one that builds the Commonwealth a train. So I think Eugene is going to die. I think he's not getting a spinoff. I think Eugene is going to be that character. I think he's going to get Rick's comic death. I know that's crazy, but I'm going to say we're going to get one death from our characters, and it's going to be Eugene. I'm just pointing it out there. Okay, so
that's a bold choice.
Yeah. I'm a bold guy. Joshua asked if you have proof. Then Brian, where is it? Well, you see, Joshua. In the comics, the Commonwealth didn't have vehicles or gasoline, but in the show they do. And the only people that make gasoline in the Walking Dead universe are the CRM. Scott Gimple also confirmed that the CRM and Commonwealth know of each other, and Tyler Davis has been missing for months, and it makes so much sense that they sent him to the CRM, because here's the thing. We know the CRM are still active. We know they're close. We know that there has to be some connection with Rick and, the CRM, obviously. But it's not just that. Lance said that he has alliances that will fall apart without him. There's only one group it could be, the CRM. So yeah, that's my proof. I think Mercer will lead. It only makes sense. It might be Mercer DeRosa, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be Ezekiel. Okay, yeah, so then we get Carol, and yeah, like I said, this was one of the problems I had. I wish we got to see the Commonwealth's walls, close up. You know what I mean? Like, soldiers on it, and maybe a sign on it that said, restricted area. But it's just I don't get how Carol and Lance got out of the prison and got over the walls. Was there an opening? Was there a tunnel? This is the same thing from Fear the Walking Dead. We never got to see how the characters left the tower or entered the tower in Fear the Walking Dead. The same with the Commonwealth. Why don't we get to see the characters enter and leave a community? They never did it once, I don't think. So it's just a bit of a head scratcher, and you know what I mean? And it's not a big thing, I get it. And yeah, maybe some people are saying I'm nitpicking. But it's just, this is supposed to be a community in the story, and I just want to see how they get out of it, back and forth, because it's an important thing in realism, in The Walking Dead. How did they get over the walls?
I think the writers just don't have a good enough reason, so they just don't show it. But it also could be possible that Lance maybe knows a secret way. But then I don't know why they couldn't just have give us a line of dialogue where he says something like that, because that's also something Lance would. If there's a secret tunnel or something like that, to get out of the Commonwealth, Lance would obviously know about that. But yeah, I do wish we would also see them leaving as well.
Yeah. I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
No, go on, Chosen. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm done.
Oh. I was gonna ask Brian a question. Now, my question to you, Brian, is I know this is far-fetched. I mean, I don't know if anyone in the chat would, agree with this question.
But do you think it's possible that, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the final 4 episodes of the main show we see something in regards to like the Commonwealth, like something we never seen before, like maybe, I don't know, maybe the group discover like this secret like bunker or like underground thing, but inside there's like writings on the walls with different names, and then Daryl's like flashing his light and he sees like a CRM logo. Like if we were to ever see something like that, I mean, what would you guys think?
I feel like that's not enough. I would like they find a bunker or something like that. Like, yeah, that's something, but it's like it's just a small tease. I'm not saying we need the CRM to come in and introduce themselves. Elizabeth is in prison, I guess. But we don't need Jadis to come back or General Beale. We don't need them to see them in the finale. I just think that I just want a line of Lance saying and confessing, like, they're holding him hostage or something like that, and they get the confirmation that yes, he sold Tyler Davis and all these people to the CRM, and he's just like, you guys have no idea like what you guys are doing. You think we're tough? You think we're dangerous? There's something bigger out there. There's something way more dangerous out there, and you guys have no idea what's coming for you. Like, I'm saving the Commonwealth. If I don't sell people to them, we'll all die. Like, just a line like that. I feel like that would have been so good before Lance died. And the characters, Daryl and Carol, they're kind of just, Daryl doesn't believe him, but then Carol is like believing him, and she's like, Daryl, don't kill him. I think he's telling the truth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that's something that could have been cool to see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, okay, even if we don't get anything in regards to CRM, I feel like they should at least, I don't know, mention it in some capacity, because I mean, because to be fair, we know that people in the Commonwealth have been going missing, and we could sort of piece together that, hey, it has something to do with CRM in some capacity. So the real question is, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, how are these people like getting kidnapped and getting traded? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the deal? Like, spill the beans. Like, we want to know.
Yeah. 1 second, guys. DeRosa asks, where is Luke, Scott, and Virgil? Yeah, I don't know, DeRosa. I think, okay, Luke is Luke is with Oceanside. Not sure if they're dead, alive, traded to CRM. No idea. Scott in Alexandria, I'm guessing. I wish he was dead. Virgil, the same. I wish he was dead. And he hasn't done anything in like 12 episodes. He has not been around in 12 episodes. This is a head scratcher. Virgil, I thought he was alive because he was going to tell the group about Michonne with Judith. But they still have not done that. Are they saving that for the last episode?
Virgil despawned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, what are they trying to say? I'm like, not sound negative, not sound like I'm nitpicking or anything. I'm just stating the obvious. I'm asking the question, and like, I'm like, okay, if something happened with Virgil, what happened? Did he get kidnapped by one of Lance's agents? Did he get kidnapped by the CRM in some capacity? I'm like, okay, what happened? Like, what happened to Virgil? Like, that's my question. Like, what happened to Virgil? Like, where did he go? Like, what happened? Did he get kidnapped by the CRM? I'm like, what happened? These are the questions I'm asking, and I'm like, okay, what's going on with these characters? Like for example, Scott. Yeah, like you said, Scott, Virgil, Barba, characters like that. Cindy, like, where are they? Like, were they kidnapped off camera? Like, what happened there? Like, what happened?
Yeah. Hold on, guys. Gotta read the chat real quick. Oceanside is the most useless community. Absolutely. Joshua says they're busy filming other projects. Yeah, I answered your question, DeRosa. Not DeRosa, sorry, Joshua. I absolutely do. Lance says the ending scene where Lance is talking to Carol and Daryl would have been perfect scene for Lance to reveal he knows Rick Grimes. That definitely would have made Daryl and Carol let him stay. Daryl and Carol, if he mentions Rick Grimes, they definitely would have captured him, they definitely would have. I could see Daryl slamming him to the ground, being like, what? Tell us everything. Like Daryl would lose his mind. But I don't know if it should be. That would be a big thing. I just wanted a mention of the CRM. I just want him to warn them that the CRM is coming. I feel like that would have been enough. But yeah, him mentioning Rick Grimes, oh boy, that would have been insane. What about Rosita? Yeah, Joshua. She is also one of the hottest female characters in the series. DeRosa says, I'm convinced Scott is an NPC. Yeah, pretty much. Brian, do you think being a variant smart walker is determined on how smart you were when you were alive? Because if it's the case, Lance could become a variant walker because he was really smart. That's kind of tricky. Lance, it's funny. It's kind of tricky because Lance was smart, but he made a dumb decision like that. Like, you know, like I'm dumb with certain things, but I'm very smart with other things. So it's kind of depends on how you rate someone as being smart. With Lance, I do think Lance is going to turn. I do think he's going to become a walker. I can see a Commonwealth soldier seeing Lance as a walker. He's got the arrow in him. I could see that happening. But being a variant, I don't think we're going to get them in the next 4 episodes. But great question. Would you be sad if Yumiko dies? I wouldn't be sad, Joshua. I just would be kind of annoyed because I'll be like, you know, I'm like, no, like she was supposed to get Michonne's story and now she's not getting it. So I'm like, what? You know, I would kind of be like, yeah. Also, if anyone from Magna's group is gonna die, it should be Magna, Kelly, or Luke. Like, please, like seriously, one of those 3 characters from the group has to die. We still have not had a single death from Magna's group. This is insane, man. 3 seasons and not a single death from.
Yeah, not to give off, Brian. Now go on, Chosen.
At this point, I wouldn't even care if Connie dies. She hasn't done anything in so long, like anything that made me like her. Like I know she had that story, like the journalism storyline, but like I didn't really care too much about it. But yeah, she hasn't done anything like that made me like her in so long. I wouldn't even care if she died at this point anymore.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do something with characters like Connie, right? Do something with the character. If you're not gonna do anything with the character, I don't know, maybe write off the character. Maybe have that character. I don't know. Maybe have a scene where Connie or Luke gets like confronted by one of Lance's agents, and then one of these agents of Lance, they take him to this unknown outpost, and that's where one of them gets traded by the CRM. I mean, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna write off a character like that, I'm like, that's fine, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm like, okay, if they're not doing anything with characters like Luke or Connie, right? Then what's the point of keeping them around? Like, for example, a character like Pamela that didn't do all that much in season 11 B of the main show, and somehow you're telling me she now towards the end she's just getting more screen time. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to sound rude or anything. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah. So we get the scene with Eugene and Yumiko. That happens. We get the press conference, and I like the part where I like how Yumiko is like playing the game of Thrones kind of thing, where she kind of shows everyone like, hey, this is my brother, this and that. He's a doctor. So yeah, if he disappears, it's gonna look very suspicious. And this is one of the things where I'm like, man, I'm still surprised that the Commonwealth is still running, because like Sebastian died literally 2 days ago, and he literally revealed the corruption of the Commonwealth with the whole everything's rigged. So it's crazy to me that the protests have stopped, and you know, the citizens no longer are like angry, I guess. They're just going about their daily lives. So yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, there should definitely be some citizens protesting against Eugene being put on trial and all this stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because some people weren't they protesting in the comics? Weren't they protesting about that guard who got to live, who didn't get punished for you know, killing Anthony? I think it was something like that. Hey, Chaz, he says, I think the smartness of walkers should be determined by those who are freshly turned. I don't think that's how it is. And they go back to places they knew, all of that in early seasons. Plus, freshly turned walkers are more rare the further the time we get into. LOL. Yeah, I want to see more fresh walkers in The Walking Dead. I want fresh zombies to be like so dangerous. They bite people. They're just so much more dangerous. You know what I mean? Like I want that to come back. They're faster. They're this, that. Joshua says Angela King wants all of Magnus Group alive. She won't do that because they are season 9 characters. Well, I'm sorry, Joshua, but that's a mistake. I mean, you got to kill off someone from Magnus Group. I mean, it just doesn't, fit. Like this is The Walking Dead, not The Walking Live. Chad says, yeah. I do think Luke should have died already, maybe by the Whispers, to be fair. Yeah, I agree, Chaz.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Luke should have been a Pike death, and it would have worked so perfectly because Luke dies in the comics that way, and the actor was filming around season 10 and 11, Fantastic Beasts, so it would have been perfect. He would have been a one-season character, and then the actor would have had to go on to do his project, and he would have been busy like that, instead of the fans wondering for 2 years, where's Luke? 2 years, seriously, like that's insane.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't know about you guys like in the chat or anyone listening. In my opinion, when it comes down to like a character like Kelly or Luke, one of those two, in my opinion, should have at least got piked in the show. I'm like, okay, instead of like just 10 pike victims in the show, they still could have had it be like 11 pike victims and got away with it. Like for example, say Luke or Kelly is like one of the heads on spikes in the show, then that would have been like whoa, like what? In my opinion, but I don't know. I feel like that's not what we got. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Lance says to TBM if that's. Oh wait, never mind. If that's the case, Walker Lance might recognize Commonwealth and lead a herd there cause damage. Yeah. Here's the thing though. We know a herd is coming to the Commonwealth because in one of the trailers, we see a walker banging its head against a window, and the sign says Commonwealth. And Ezekiel and everyone, when he says get back and they have their guns, that's the Commonwealth, I think. So somehow a herd is going to get in the city. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think it is. Lance leading them, though? I don't think so, but I would like to see Lance come back as a walker, and that would be crazy. Imagine Pamela sees zombie Lance. That would be crazy. Joshua says, do you enjoy the new era of The Walking Dead, seasons 9 to 11, or the old era, seasons 1 to 8 more? That's a great question, Joshua. Honestly, I prefer 1 to 8. I don't like season 7 and 8, but here's the thing. I love season 9. Season 10, though, not great. And then season 11, decent, but, and enjoyable at times, but a lot of missed opportunities. And it's also feeling kind of rushed, so I prefer 1 to 8, even though the last 2, I don't like those seasons. Yeah, guys, please no spoilers. Don't you think, can I be a moderator, Brian? I'll think about it, Joshua. I'll think about it. If I don't have enough, I will. If you come to enough of my streams, then I will do it. Because I had problems before with people asking to be a moderator, and they have caused drama and trouble. So I definitely, you know what I mean. Like to be a moderator, you have to come more, I guess, to my channel, and that way you kind of earn the position, I guess. Chaz says, and Lance, that would be funny. We're thinking the lines of Morgan's Wife, season 1. I want Walker Lance to kill Pamela. That would be crazy, though. Walker Lance, imagine the Commonwealth gets overrun, all of Pamela's guards get eaten, and you have zombie Lance just killing Pamela. I could see that happening. I can definitely see that happening.
That'd be too coincidental. I wouldn't like that.
I mean, this is The Walking Dead, though. I mean, like think about it. Let's
but still, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I mean,
in my opinion, not to cut nobody off. In my opinion, I'm like, okay, even if Walker Lance doesn't straight up devour Pamela in the show, to be fair, Pamela has to die. Pamela has to die. I'm like, okay, you already killed off Sebastian, you already killed off Lance, you already killed off Dawson. I'm like, okay, if you're not going to have her die from Walker Lance, right? It has to be from someone else. But here's the question, who could it be?
Here's the thing, though. I can't see anyone killing Pamela, and at least some people in the community not having a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, even if, um, the Commonwealth, yeah, they don't like Pamela, I guess, but like somebody just shooting Pamela on the head, I feel like they wouldn't want that person to be leader. You know what I mean? Or their friends. So if Pamela died from something outside of the group's action, like a walker, I feel like partially the group the Commonwealth wouldn't really blame them. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, we killed your leader, and it's like, yeah, she was kind of tyrannical, but she still ran the community for years, and there's still some people that like her. So I really don't know what they're gonna do.
I mean, they could also just be people from the Commonwealth, random citizens just riding, and they kill her. That'd be poetic.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they did it kind of with Sebastian, so I feel like maybe kind of do her death a little differently. DeRosa says, what if the post-credit scene is a Virgil? I would hate that, DeRosa. Pamela is definitely dead, though. She's a full-blown villain in the show. I think Pamela's a goner, too. I think she might be in prison, though, like Sebastian was in the comics, but I think that likely she's going to die. IMO, I think a lot of people don't recognize that the whole of Season 7 was a build-up to Season 8, dragged out, yes, but I think the story all fit and people don't like it. For a difficult one, for sure. Carl's death killed the show, absolutely. Lance, if we're being realistic, since Carol killed Lance, Maggie will probably kill Pamela. Even in the trailer, Negan tells Maggie that it's not safe unless she's still breeding. You mean until they're not safe as she's still breeding. But yeah, I agree. The thing is though, I don't know if it's gonna be Maggie. Is that why she gets banished? Like, is that why she goes to New York? I don't know. Oh wait, let's see. Please call me Josh instead, Brian. You got it. No worries. Josh, wait, what is going on with my... Alright, you know what? I'm gonna close the episode. It doesn't seem to be working anymore. But yeah. Okay, so we talked about Lance's death. What did you guys think about the whole zombie skin thing? That wasn't whispers. People said the zombies were evolving. I don't think so. I think they were just in a tunnel, and their skin was just rotting or something. Like I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think
mean,
so.
it's possible it was. It's possible, but then again, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like never say never, right? I mean, but then again, I'm like, okay, if it is Walker skin, I'm like, what are they trying to say it is? Like, is it like something for like your hands? Because I don't know if you guys remember, but in Telltale's The Walking Dead season 4, the former Whisper, James, he had like Whisper skin on his hands. So I don't know. Maybe that's possible. I don't know. It's possible. That's all I'll say.
There's one scene that one thing I didn't like about the scene, and this is 100% nitpicking, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So Carol's fighting off the zombies, right? And Lance, he runs off, I guess. Okay, so first of all, he gets attacked, and he falls to the ground immediately. And Carol's trying to pull him off the walker. Where you came from, which is a little weird because like that whole thing, because Lance was like standing on like a thing, like a thing that's elevated from the ground, and that wasn't there when they came there, like when they first walked into the tunnel. But that's also not still what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with is that Carol looks at him as if like, what, you were just gonna like watch me die? But like Lance is literally like helping you, and like that's what like I think the writers were going for. That were like Lance was just gonna let Carol die. But like Lance was literally helping her out by with the flash, pointing the flashlight. Like if I were Carol, I would want him not doing anything because Lance is useless in a fight. I would want him pointing the flashlight so I could actually see. But this is 100% nitpick. I just didn't like that.
I didn't notice that actually. Yeah, I didn't really notice that, and that's weird. Like, so Lance is born in a fight, okay, but he can shoot. Like, I don't know. Now looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know. I thought Lance can handle walkers, but I guess only with a gun. Are you guys there? Hey, do you guys hear me? Come on. Not again.